Here we teach the students all the basic concepts of robotics, of electronics, coding, AI, 3D designing. All these concepts are taught to the students from second standard onwards up to the 10th standard. If I have to explain about AI to a layman, it's basically putting brains into the machine. When I'm talking about AI, it has to do some particular work for me, make some decisions for me, or simple do my task easier. So to do all this, the machine has to have a brain. So that is where AI comes into picture. Earlier, during my time and all, computers were like very minimal and not much exposed to students. So when we were given assignments or something, we had to like run about in libraries, sit with n number of books, get information, and then prepare our assignment and submit. A lot of time consuming task. But now you have Google Assistant, you have this ChatGPT, just put your query, you have your answer. It may give you a lengthy answer, put it across on ChatGPT and ask it to summarize it. It will give you one paragraph, 2 paragraphs, whatever you want. So students are more acquainted to finding proper information, and more importantly, it is no wasting of time. You have everything on a click of button sitting at home. The student is aware how a particular machine will work, on what basis it is making a decision. All these principles of working of an AI are understood. The background of that particular machine is understood by the students. When they are, pass out and maybe in a working place, working somewhere, it won't be like they are like, oh shit, I don't know how this thing works. It won't be that scenario for them. They know how it works. So exposure of a student to AI is important, because right now AI is the most buzzing thing currently going on everywhere. Students are more used and addicted to computers or electronic devices. The habit of reading books is lost. Secondly, you are more dependent on all these AI tools or electronic media. Exposure to radiations and other stuff is also increased. Again, a health disadvantage. To train a particular AI model, you will be sharing across all your personal information, or rather major of your personal information, thinking, okay, it has to make a correct decision for me. I am letting out my personal information go across. So privacy becomes a problem. The satellites properly pick up signals or pick up whatever the situations are at the current moment. But based on that, I cannot directly make a decision, okay, it's going to be a cyclone tomorrow, there is an upcoming tsunami. Based on what it has collected, it will refer to the past data, what it has learned over the period of so many years. Based on that, it is going to make a decision and make a prediction. Okay, there are chances of a cyclone upcoming, or there are chances of any tsunami or any other natural calamities. So that is where AI comes into a big picture. Internet always doesn't provide correct information. There is some misleading information also. Sometimes a student must have read something about any particular thing. It is stuck, because at this age, the first thing that you read or first thing that you hear is fixed in your mind. When we as a teacher try to explain some things, they have whatever knowledge they have attained by reading or listening to some other thing. So there it becomes a bit of a task for us to tell them the correct concept or put across a correct concept to their mind. Maybe what they have read is correct, but they don't know how it comes to that point. So that is also needed to be understood by this child. So that process becomes a challenge as a teacher. Currently, limitations are like, for it to make a decision or announce a particular thing, you need to have a good quality and a good quantity of data, which has to be given as an input previously so that it can train. For example, when I am introducing any child to a particular game, I have to tell him, Baba, these are the rules. These are the conditions where you will gain points, or these are the conditions where you will lose points. So, the child will basically have few rounds of practice sessions, and then the child is ready to play the actual game. Similar scenarios. So you have to have a lot of training, a lot of good quality data and a good quantity of data. Now when we are exposing students to all these current things in AI, it is a benefit that they are aware of all the things. So it opens up a lot of advancements or what all technologies that are used. So it gives the student a scope to learn maybe just 10% of it. But at least they are at a point they can make a decision where they want to go, which sector they want to go. So getting jobs would be a little bit easier when you're learning it from this level itself. So basically there were many projects wherein concepts of AI were introduced. We had this project which was people used to register, and when they walk into the counter, the camera detects their face and it displays a welcome message. Looks simple, but again here is your face recognition concept which comes into play. So computer vision, that is where students are focusing on, because you have to recognize, I can't say, okay, I am walking in and it recognizes me as somebody else. That is wrong. So it has to recognize me as Shivani and display. So that comes. Again, we had projects on face recognition based attendance system. Again, a computer vision project. So wherein there were a lot of trainings about each student given, like various pictures from various angles were clicked and the machine was trained to identify the correct student and mark their attendance. There was another project which was based on AI, which was speed detection or a number plate detection of a car for overspeeding. So when the car used to overspeed, so it used to indicate the speed of that particular car and click a picture of that particular vehicle and send a message to the respective authorities. So we didn't connect to the authorities, but that was the concept put across by the students. So there were these various projects put across by students at this level within a span of 6 months basically. So it was a great thing that students have put together to build up these projects.